One enemy remaining.
I see the spike.
Tagged and tagged.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
I've come to the conclusion that we just aren't allowed to have good things in gaming. On July 28th, Cuphead surprise dropped on the PS4, which was the only major platform that didn't have a version of it. To me, this was great news. I love Cuphead, and it seemed odd that the best-selling console didn't have access to it, but now it does, and that's great. More people get to play this great game. But looking through Twitter, this port pissed a lot of people off, and it wasn't just one community, it was a whole bunch. There were the Xbox people mad that they lost one of their games, there were the PS4 people saying Xbox is trash and doesn't deserve games, there were the other PS4 people bragging about how they got an Xbox game, there were a few people reigniting the argument that Cuphead isn't good because it's too hard. It was just a really weird day on Twitter. So I figured why not show off some of my favorites from the day. Poor ponies get finally Xbox game Cuphead. Get finally. Nice. Well, the ponies have had access to Cuphead since day one. A lot of Xbox fanboys have this bizarre attachment to Cuphead that I don't understand. The game was never your exclusive. Like, literally since day one, the game has been a multi-plat. It's also worth noting that Cuphead is not a very demanding game to run on PC. If you have a semi-decent laptop, you could probably run it just fine. Cuphead has always been accessible to pretty much anyone who wants to play it. If you wanted to play it on Xbox, you could, and if you didn't have an Xbox, it's readily available on PC, Mac, and Switch. PS4 was just the last piece of the puzzle. This game has literally never been an exclusive. I really don't understand why the Xbox base is so connected to it. Why? Because it was partially funded by Microsoft? Who cares? Just play the games you want, and if it's good, encourage others to play them. Remember when people said Cuphead was an Xbox exclusive? Yeah. And it's wrong. Wow, Xbox just gave away one of their better exclusives to the open market. Sony should do the same. We need to stop this console exclusive greed. If this goes on, we could be locked to 30 FPS or left unable to play 4K games just because of the console we support to. That's a really hard tweet to read. Again, Cuphead was literally never an exclusive. Xbox are so desperate for some kind of exclusive for them to grab onto, and they're ignoring objective facts. They see Sony with all these actual exclusives, and they're like, shit, we need one to Cuphead. Shit, like Halo or Gears would make more sense to brag about than Cuphead, because at least those are actually console exclusives to Xbox, but you'd still be wrong, because they're on PC too. But as for the second part of this tweet about games being locked at 30 FPS and being unable to play at 4K, you realize that's always been an option, right? This literally has nothing to do with Cuphead going to PS4. I agree, Sony should let loose of the exclusivity stranglehold, and it seems they slowly but surely are doing so. But this just seems like such a bizarre rant to go on. Nobody was talking about frame rate or resolution here. I wish I could refund the shit of us too and buy this great game. Do you like Fortnite? I think so.
Oh, damn!
Hello.
If this guy says he wants to refund the shit of us, he obviously doesn't like ass games.
It's under my name. H.
Xbox fanboys when they realize they have no games and are about to get slapped for the third generation in a row. Yeah, Xbox One actually has way more games than PS4 because of the huge backwards compatible library. Honestly, I can't decide what's dumber. The Xbox people crying about losing an exclusive that wasn't an exclusive, or the PS4 people bragging about how they stole an exclusive that wasn't an exclusive. People will really take any excuse they can to start console wars, even as we're just months away from them being obsolete. People really have nothing better to do with their time during quarantine. But I mean, I'm here talking about it, so whatever. Donate to the channel with a link in the description. About time they wanted to actually make real money. I've been holding off till this version for 3 years. They will sell more for PlayStation than the Switch, Xbox, and PC combined, no question. You know what's really funny? aside from the fact that Sony ponies are the same people who say Xbox has no games and they're all crap, but they're the same people bragging about Cuphead going to PS4. Sony ponies are also the people who give shit to people on other platforms when Sony exclusives leave after a few years. But now they're bragging about Cuphead 3 years after launch. Remember when they said Horizon Zero Dawn going to PC was stupid because it was 3 years too late? And how the PC port of Red Dead 2 was stupid because it was a year too late? And how the PC version of Death Stranding was stupid because it was a year too late? I mean, following this logic, that means you guys shouldn't care at all about Cuphead, right? But no, a 3-year-old game is going to sell more on this platform than any of the others. The game launched in 2017, the same year as Horizon Zero Dawn. But here we are anyways. I've said it a million times and I'll keep saying it. Sony ponies don't actually care about games. They only care about whether or not something is on their platform. I really don't know what I'm doing looking for logical consistency from console fanboys, but to be fair, it's funny. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I got a laptop in late 2017 so I could play Cuphead, and since then it's been released on Switch and now PS4. You bought a laptop for Cuphead? I mean, that's better than buying an Xbox for Cuphead. Great game. It's a bit too hard though, and a shame because many won't fully experience the awesome artwork and... oh god. Many won't fully experience the awesome design and artwork. Wish there was an easy mode just to experience the level of artistic detail that went into this game. Are we really digging this grave back up? Like, I thought we were done with this topic 3 years ago. And even then, it was a stupid argument. A video game is not a cartoon or a book or a movie. It's an interactive medium. Your input is required. Absolutely everyone is capable of getting good at video games, especially simple 2D games like Cuphead. Sure, it's frustrating and it can be difficult at times, but that's a choice on the part of the developers. There are plenty of options for difficult and not so difficult video games. If you want a challenge, you can do that. If you don't want a challenge, you can do that. But don't try to shame a developer because they didn't make exactly the game you wanted when you have a million other options that fit the thing you want. And you know what's also great about video games? If you don't want to play it, you can still see the story and the art through videos and streams. The argument you're making, like, imagine it from the other perspective. Minecraft doesn't have enough combat. It's way too easy. I just wish there was a bullet hell mode so I could experience the game the way I think it should be, but until then, I'm not trying it. Yeah, that sounds really stupid, right? Sounds like a really entitled asshole argument. Quit begging for games to be easier. Just because something is hard doesn't mean it's automatically bad or it's a negative mark on you as a person for struggling with it. Struggling is part of hard games. Either try harder or play something else. Sorry, I didn't expect to rant that long about that. Jesus, it's like I thought we were done with this debate 3 years ago. Xbox has one great exclusive game other than Halo. Xbox next move. Puts it on other consoles. I mean, I could say something snarky about this, but honestly, I feel like I'd just be repeating myself. Look, exclusives are stupid. They're literally just ways of holding a platform hostage and forcing people to buy your overpriced plastic box. The quicker we do away with exclusives, the sooner we can move towards a gaming ecosystem that's more about consumer-friendly business models, a bigger focus on hardware that's strong and affordable, and great subscription services, and the big manufacturers will have to actually prove their worth to you before you buy their box, instead of just using games as bait to pull you over to their side. Also, Cuphead was literally never an exclusive. This whole video didn't have to happen.